What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, and welcome back to another new video. So we've been driving the M3 quite a bit. Everything is absolutely fantastic on this car. I've just been spending a lot of time kind of enjoying it, going out, getting a lot of photos like you guys saw in the last video, and basically just enjoying everything there is with this car, driving it, the sounds, the way it performs, just having a lot of fun with the car in general. But we do have a few issues with this car, and it's a few little details that I kind of want to go over that are kind of like one of the little bit more annoying little details with the cars, and some little things that I kind of need to fix, some things that I've installed, some things that I need to remove, and some things that I just need to fix in general. So today we're gonna get the car up in the air. There's some stuff we need to look at underneath, on the suspension, on the exhaust, and a few other little details that I just want to go over. And I'm going to show you guys what's wrong with the car, things I need to fix, and what our little solution will be. But first thing, this car is absolutely filthy. The wheels are absolutely toast. They're just caked in brake dust. So we didn't even drive the car that far, but having these track pads on here just absolutely create a ton of dust. I love having them, but they are definitely one of the more dirty things on this car. So you can see the E88s are just absolutely filthy. So first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and get this thing cleaned up real quick, and then we can get underneath the car and I'll show you guys some of the things that we're gonna fix. Okay guys, it's a couple days later and the car is all cleaned up. We actually just ended up running out of a little bit of time the other day. So here I am just a few days later, but the car's all clean, looking all good, and it's time to get working on some of the things that I said I needed to fix on this car. So the first thing we're gonna do is get the car jacked up, just the front, and we're gonna get the front wheels off because we got something to do on the front suspension. So now that we have the wheel off and the car up in the air, I wanted to kind of explain to you what this first issue that I'm having with the car is. So basically what happens is after a little bit of driving, whether it's on the street or on the track, I start to get like a loud popping noise on some bumps, and it's usually when the suspension unloads itself. Now I think I've only had this happen maybe 2 or 3 times since I put the coilovers on, so that's been about 10 months already. So it's not very often that this has happened, but it is now been the same problem multiple times, and I'm glad I found the solution, but it is getting a little frustrating to have to continually fix. So the first time I thought about it, I thought, maybe it could be something suspension related. I thought maybe it was an issue with the nitrons here, which you can see are actually quite dirty right now. But I thought maybe it was an issue with something up here. I thought maybe there was an issue with maybe something else somewhere in the suspension. And it turns out I was partially correct. So a few of the things that I ended up checking were, one, I checked the coilovers, everything on the coilovers looked good, but when I got to checking the end links, I noticed that the bottom bolt on the end link was loose. So if you guys can see up in here, the bottom end link sits right there. It's not focusing right now. There you go. The bottom end link sits right there and you can see it, but it keeps getting that back bolt right here is getting just a little bit loose. And I find myself having to come into the wheel well and just give it like maybe 1 to 2 turns. And that literally fixes all the issues. It's not even like hand loose or anything. It's like half a turn, maybe 1 turn is all it needs, and I can get it all tightened back up and the noise goes completely away. Now I'm not exactly sure why it's coming loose. I think it may be just due to vibrations and due to driving the car quite a bit. I've had it come loose twice on that side, and now this is the first time that it's come loose on this side. Like I said, it's not really that big of an issue, but we did go ahead and get that tightened up. If it continues to happen in the future, I'm probably gonna end up adding, maybe just like a little bit of blue Loctite on there to keep it tight. But that would kind of help with everything and hopefully keep it from happening again. Now, like I said, it's really not that big of an issue if it's only gonna happen to me every few times in a year. This is probably about the 3rd time it's happened. So if it happens again, it's really not that big of an issue and I'm not too worried. But I am glad that I found it, and I think it's an issue that a few people I know have had before. So I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys, if you end up having like a suspension clunk, like I said, it was always going over like I always noticed it was going over a dip going down. So anytime I hit a bump where the suspension would compress, no sound. But anytime I hit a bump where the road like dropped a little bit and the wheel would drop into the road surface, that is where I noticed that I was having this sound. Now the next issue I want to address is actually something that I installed on the car, and that is these brake ducts that you guys remember me putting on to the lower control arms of the SPLs. So these brake ducts were meant to scoop air from the lower control arm, and then you can see it comes out of this duct on the backside. And basically what it does is it scoops air from the lower side, pulls it back up in, and directs air directly into the backside here onto both the caliper as well as inside the hub on the brake to add extra cooling. Now you guys know I have the brake hosing that goes to this side, which also mainly goes towards the hub and dissipates cold air through all the vanes on the rotors. But I was using the secondary point here, right there you can see the duct, and a secondary hose was coming into the backside of the caliper and providing extra cooling. Now I actually ran into two different issues running this setup, and it's not really that big of a deal, but it is something that I kind of want to go over, and I know I was running these kind of out of their intended use already. So these are meant for the OEM arms, and now I talked with Westerson Motorsport over Instagram, and we tried to make a little bit of a special design for the SPL arms as they're a slightly different shape, but we ran into some unforeseen circumstances, and I think in the end, I'm just gonna end up taking them off and not running them. It'll make it a little bit easier. I will probably lose a little bit of cooling on the brakes, but that's okay for now, and I'll tell you why I think it wasn't performing to its full potential. So, like I said, these sat sort of like this on the car, and they would scoop air from underneath and grab air, bring it to the brake caliper. Now, one thing that I was having an issue with is the SPL arms, specifically the lower control arms, are spherical bushings, and that means that they don't really have any play in them, but they do allow for a slight bit of rotation on the arm without any movement. And now where that was running into an issue is that this should be sitting parallel like this, facing forwards on the vehicle, scooping up all that air all the time. And what was happening was as I would go lock to lock, the arms kind of twist and rotate, and the front lower control arm would actually rotate upwards like this on the vehicle, and then as it turns back straight, it would stay upwards like this. Now this isn't an issue with the arms, I'm positive of that. It just has to do with the fact that even while sitting still, you're able to go in there and rotate the spherical bushings ever so slightly, and it allows this to sit more at an upward angle. I'll overlay a video that I kind of took on my phone before I took this thing off. You can see the rotation of the SPL arm and how it moves this little bracket and how it moves this little scoop to no longer be in the correct orientation. So for that reason, I kind of feel like the cooling was a little bit uneven. I mean, technically it would even itself back out. Like once you turned left, then one side would be up, the other side would be correct. And then once you turned right, they would swap and one side would be correct and the other side would be wrong. So I find it easier. I'm just gonna go ahead and take these off and not run them for now. Now the second issue that I ended up running into is you can see this little bit of damage here on the rear. It's actually something I noticed while running these 18 by 10.5 wheels, is that I was actually scraping the inside of the barrel on the brake duct. So the inside of these barrels, I actually noticed I had wheel weights on the inside and they got knocked off pretty quickly. So I don't think it's actually an issue with the size of the wheel or the fitment of this brake duct, but actually just the fact that it hit the wheel weights. So that's not really a problem that everybody's gonna have, but it is something that I think you guys should be aware of so that if you decide to run these exact same things, you have an idea that, you might run into an issue with your wheel weights clearancing on them. Now, we didn't knock them loose or anything. I think it might have knocked the wheel weights off of the wheels, but like I said, it didn't really affect the brake duct whatsoever. But in the end, we're gonna end up taking them off and running without them. So right now, we will just have the single plate that you guys have seen me install before with the single duct coming from the bumper. And then lastly, I have one more issue that I'm gonna fix that's underneath the car. That's actually quite a bit of a more common problem on the F chassis, and that is anytime you do a mid-pipe. Sometimes you get a little bit of contact between the brace and the exhaust, and I definitely have a little bit of that going on right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get underneath there, show you guys the contact that it's making, and then I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do. Now it might be a little bit hard to see, but if you can see right here, this side of the exhaust is making ever so slight contact with the brace. And that's not really something that I want to happen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take out these bolts right here, and I'm gonna try and get some washers so that hopefully I can space the brace just a little bit lower down. And that'll give me just a little bit added clearance to the exhaust and hopefully get rid of any of that contact. So I have the bolt right here in my hands. I'm gonna run down to the hardware store and try and get some extra spacers so that when I put these back up onto the car, I can have just that little bit of added clearance. I'm gonna try and stack a few of them so that I get a little bit more room so that there's not so much contact between the brace and the exhaust. Okay, so we're back, and I ended up getting just a few washers, as you can see here. Now I have 9 of them in total, so what I'm gonna do is there are 3 different bolts on there on either side, and basically I'm just gonna stack every single one onto each bolt between the bracket and the car, and hopefully that should give us just a little bit of room here. You can see it's probably about ½ an inch or so between the space that we'll get between the bracket and the car, and hopefully that gives us just enough room that we don't have to worry about the rubbing or making contact with the exhaust anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull all of those bolts out, put these in, and see how it goes. All right guys, so like I mentioned, I got this all fixed up right here. I know it might be a little bit difficult to tell, but I have the spacing underneath here just spaced out a little bit with a few washers underneath some of these bolts. So between the bolts and the car, well actually between the bracket and the car, I just added some washers and it spaced it out just enough that it's no longer making contact with the exhaust. So hopefully that stops just a little bit of a rattle that I had on the interior sometimes, and should overall just clean the car up altogether. And then the last little thing that I had to fix is that the front splitter, you guys know how I have this sort of OEM adjustable GTS front style splitter. The bottom section had actually pushed in just from scraping a little bit on a few things, such as my driveway. So I went ahead and just loosened up some of those bolts, readjusted it so that I have even gapping all the way along here, and we are all set to go. So I'm gonna lower that side of the car. We got the exhaust done. We got everything I needed to do on that wheel. I'm gonna jack it up, take off this wheel, and go ahead and get those brake ducts removed, and then we will be all set. Well, there you have it, guys. We haven't spent a lot of time wrenching on the car lately, so I figured you guys would enjoy, listening to some of the issues that, most people don't really talk about. A lot of people don't even bring up, any of the little problems that they end up having with their cars, the little stuff that they have to fix. And part of what doing these kind of modifications and driving the car hard really results in. And that is, even though this is a new and what I would call a very reliable car, there's still gonna be things that you need to take care of, things that you need to check up on. And especially when you do mods to this level, it's gonna add a whole new factor of parts that you need to check up, things that you need to, be aware of, and basically just a whole lot more maintenance to do onto the vehicle. Now, with that being said, this car has been super, super reliable, and I wouldn't really consider these big issues. I would consider this really typically anything that you would have to do anytime you modify really any car. Exhaust fitment issues are super common. Anytime you try running crazy wide fitment like a 295 all the way on the front of this M3, and you're trying to run a bunch of aero and ducting, of course you're gonna run into little issues. Running it on aftermarket suspension, the aftermarket SPL, obviously nothing is going to fit 100% all the time, and especially when you work between multiple different brands, obviously you're gonna have some slight issues between the models and all the different parts. But I know it's been a while since we've kind of come out into the garage and wrenched on the M3 a little bit. You guys always seem to like whenever I'm out here working on the car, whether that's doing maintenance, installing new parts, fixing things, whatever it is, you guys really enjoy watching the M3 get worked on. And I can't blame you. It's definitely enjoyable. I will say it's been really hot in Houston, just like it is every summer. Luckily, we're starting to get a little bit of a cooler weather. This weekend specifically is supposed to be nice and cool, a little bit rainy, but it's gonna at least cool down, and hopefully we can get to some more activities now that the weather is starting to cooperate and it's not quite so hot. I literally have to come into the garage either in the early morning or late at night, because during the daytime it's just truly unbearable to be out here. I really need to get like maybe an AC. I'd planned on putting a little mini split up here above the TV. When I first installed all of my garage stuff, like the pressure washer setup, the TV, the tire rack, I'd planned on putting a little mini split up here. And that might still be something that I plan on doing, but honestly, this garage, one of the biggest issues I have is that right now I have the M3 pulled back a little bit so that I have some space here to move stuff like my chairs, the jack, the buckets, and whatnot through the front. But when I come around to the rear of the car, unfortunately, it's just a little bit short, and it doesn't quite make it in with the garage door shut at this length. I really wish they would have extended the garage like an extra 2 feet to this wall. That would have made like all of the difference in for this car and working inside the garage, as well as like this little border up here. If this wasn't raised like this, I feel like I would have so much more usable space in the garage, but that's okay. We do what we can with what we've got. I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's video. We kind of just spent a little bit of time fixing up some of the details. This is super necessary stuff anytime you do big modifications to the car. Now I will say I got the car driven, and that noise in the front is gone. So I'm positive that that's the same issue that I've been having for a while, and it is completely fixed. I have not driven the car since I fixed the exhaust rattle, so we're gonna see if maybe we need to do something there. But otherwise, everything should be good and set on the vehicle. With that being said, we are getting closer and closer to the aero being ready for this car. I'm super excited. They have the final rendition. It's all set up, and we're just working on the final mounting locations for the front. The rear wing is absolutely completed and perfect. We are ready for that to be shipped and put onto the car, as well as some other front aero that we're going to be adding. Super excited for all the parts coming on this car, and I can't wait for everything that's going to be done. But there may just be a few more weeks. It's obviously going to take me quite a bit to install both the front aero, the rear wing. We've got stuff going on in the fenders, the canards, etc. Interior, there's a bunch of stuff, maybe even some other suspension work that I want to kind of surprise you guys with. But there's going to be a ton going on to this car, and it's going to be a lot to get through in these next couple of weeks. We have a trip planned in a little over a month, so I want to get everything done before then. I'm going to kind of keep that a little bit of a secret for you guys, but I expect to be a little bit of a struggle to get everything all set and ready. I'm hoping everything comes in time, and then I'm hoping I can get it all installed. But that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you have any questions on, some of the other issues, or if you guys have like a sound or something that your car's making and you're wondering what it is, I've had quite a bit of things that I've had to go through and kind of like diagnose on this car and just find little issues. And so I'm more than willing to help. Just reach out in the comment section or shoot me a DM on Instagram. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, as always, please leave a like, leave a comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.